Today we're getting into Brave New World. We just went and saw it. It's very exciting. Before we get into that, so you don't ruin it for yourself, consider this your spoiler
Spoiler
warning.
warning.
I want to know what you didn't like about this.
I'll tell you, you know what, bro? I'll tell you the main thing that I didn't like about this movie, dude. It was before going into it, seeing that it got a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then coming out of that movie as entertained as I was. To me, at this point, what more, like, what do we want? What do we want? Like, who is making these reviews? I just can't really understand it, man. Like,
I don't either. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was entertained the entirety of the time.
to me, there hasn't been this level of dope ass fight choreography since Winter Soldier.
Same. Very much gave me Winter Soldier
Like,
vibes.
which is like known as one of the best Marvel movies. And then like
Yeah.
to do this with this, like it's so frustrating to me.
And
Dude.
like there are some valid gripes, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I
Like
have plenty that we're about to like that we're gonna get into. But
yeah.
like to me, it sits like this. Rotten Tomatoes has glazed so many bad movies because like we know it's just a business, just the money in the right spot, blah 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 blah. Being like, dude, like Martin Scorsese puts out just like a thoughtless nothing, which he hasn't, but like let's say he would, and they would grade that shit a 99.9%. You know what I mean? Like we know that this stuff isn't necessarily like very objective. To me, it sits like this. Like the whole narrative going into this movie has been Black Captain America, you know, and how like there's horrible racists that just like don't want to see this, that there's people who don't understand the comics that think it's like some woke liberal choice making Sam Captain America, right? When they like don't understand that that's an exact pathway that happens in the comics.
And there's people who argue like, well, Bucky became it first. Like, we're talking about an alternate, where the MCU has taken many liberties and you were fine
Yeah,
with them. Now you're not.
you know, and it's just like there's been all these horrible racist undertones preluding this movie, and like Rotten Tomatoes had like, to me, like as like a person, had an opportunity to like shine a light on this movie rather than like in the midst of all this controversy, rather than being like bam, just like another MCU like bust, you know, when the audience scores near 80%.
Yeah. Like
That
clearly the people who saw it, like the actual audience is always the one I trust more than
like
the tomato
so
meter,
that
the popcorn
yeah,
meter is
dude.
the
So like
one
I
that
can't
actually,
understand who are the people in charge, and that stuff. Like we got to move on from this because like it charges me up, and I'm just
I
like
know,
getting
yeah.
heated about it, and we're gonna go too long on it. But like, yeah, dude, it really bothers me. Like I said, to me, they had an opportunity to shine a light on a movie that was trying to do this like really objectively awesome thing,
Yeah.
and instead they chose not to.